morning, good morning, good morning. YouTube viewers, Facebook Nation, good morning to everyone. All people, all races, all colors, all languages, men, women, children around the world. Good morning to everyone. May you have the best day that you can humanly possibly have. And I'm glad to be back. I'm always glad to be back. Like today is going to be an update, and that update is to say thank you, but also that I've never left you. The viewers that follow, I've never left you. The people that I encounter on a daily basis, that I share, I greet, I sit back, I listen, I conversate with, never left you, not going to leave you. However, there are some changes. In the last video, I had spoke a little bit about it, but today let me just update you on everything of what you need to know about this channel. Okay, so remember, one of the changes is you're not going to hear all that, subscribe, click, none of that. Don't do it. Just from now on, listen to the message, and if you get something from the message, it's another way of looking at a situation, apply what you can apply to your life. But at the end of the day, the message is what's important. And the reason that I'm going to address this is because I talked to a subscriber yesterday, and she was like, your videos, are far and few, and for a year, you were just like consistent with it. So I'm going to explain all that. So for Miss M, thank you for staying true, and I always wish you and your family, you and your husband, I wish you the best. And I'm also happy that you had the time, to spend with your mom. I know that COVID was, hard during that time. So, thank you, and that's a special thank you to you. As well as for Mrs. B, who, we got in touch with one another. And I'm glad that, you're applying what was said, that, when you said that no more, you're not too much on social media anymore. Believe it or not, Miss B, I was happy, and I'm happy for that because, let me just do this. Let me get into this. There's going to be more thank yous too, throughout this, because like I said, for me, I believe that, the women, you change the world, because not because men can't do it, but men bumble things, and a lot of things that are going on right now, the power is within you, so I encourage it, but I also respect it because all people are equal, it's a 50-50 deal, and that's what we promote here. So today, we're going to discuss 4 points of this update. And number 1 is, why am I posting less videos? And then number 2 is, how does morning motivation go forward? How does this channel go forward? And then number 3, my goal for the message that I'm trying to convey through my videos. And then number 4, the message that I'm trying to get across, not just to viewers, but in everything that I do, is the message that I want for the world. So basically, what are all my views and all of this, and why I do what I do. So I'm going to go to, I went 1, but I'm actually going to go to number 3, which is, what is my goal? What is the message through these videos? And the message through these videos is what I'm trying to get people to do is to find your identity. Because a lot of us, we think that we are thinking and we're self-thinking, and we're not. There's a lot of subliminal things that are happening through our lives to alter the way that we think. And then when you have somebody who's next to you who's thinking in that same way where it's being altered, then you follow that program, and then you pass that on to the next person and the next person. This is how they know that they're playing these games. This is why media is constantly flooding you with fear. This is why programs are constantly being cut. And think about this. They cut programs, but they don't cut war. They cut out different jobs, but they don't stop war. And we have to get on that level to say, wait a minute, instead of spending all this money here, put it here. But, again, it gets us to think about us, and not to use that as an example, but I'm talking about, life lessons in general, things that we see on TV, that are having our youth thinking this far away. I'm going to use gangster movies, mobster movies. You got all these different, violence is either violence or sex, violence or sex, violence or sex. Is that where we all are? But this is what they're pushing, and they can only push it if we allow it. So this is why self-thinkers, they say, well, if you don't like that movie, don't watch it. Me personally, I don't watch. I stopped watching all that stuff. So I only watch things that are motivational, things that are going to bring people together. But I also listen to, I also research information to prove lies, that these lies aren't just here today. These lies were developed over time. That's what makes me different from a lot of other channels that you watch, is that I'm explaining to you when this started to how we are today. Whereas people will say, oh, well, they're doing this, they're doing that. Well, why are they doing it? When did they start doing it? How are they start doing it? So that's what my goal is, to get people to learn their identities and not to be led into how to think, but to think for oneself, and that's very, very different. So that's my goal. And when I will go back to number one. Number one is, why am I posting less videos? And this goes to your direct answer, Miss M. And the reason is because there's over 100 videos on that playlist, and all of those videos, they hold true to the end of time. Because one thing that is undeniable is the laws of nature. You know, a person is only going to do what a person is going to do. A tree is only going to do what a tree does. Car is only going to do what a car does. The plane is only going to do what a plane does. The sun is only going to do what the sun does. You know, these things can't be changed no matter what we input into it. So we say, okay, well, we're going to use an example of this. A car. A car can't swim and a car can't fly. And you say, oh yeah, they can put wings on it. No, if a car is flying, it's a plane. And if a car is swimming, if a car can swim, then it's a submarine. So no, a car is only going to do what a car can do because it's a car. However, you know, where this thinking comes in is that we live in a world today where they say, yeah, a car can fly, a car can swim. You see, this car just drove on land and then it went down into the water. No, it's still a submarine. It's just a submarine that is on that can come up on land. You know, so and so, or a boat. You know, put wheels on a boat and you see a boat on the back of a car. And does that mean that the boat is actually a car? No, it doesn't. It means it's a boat that's on a car. So okay, all right. So why am I posting less videos? Because the message is there. Those things are not going to change. And one of the things that I mentioned throughout this, it was never about subscribers, it's never about likes, it's never about any of that. Nobody should have to be validated for anything. And anything that you do, you should never have, you know, this is what makes me different. I don't want anything from you. Don't want anything from you. You know, you know, questions and all that. I didn't really want to go through all that either. You know, the back and forth questions, because you already have all the answers. You know, take the information that's there and, you know, go and apply it to your life. If you get something, you know, come back every so often, see what will be posted, and that's what we're going to get into next. So, number two, how does morning motivation go forward? Well, morning motivation is your morning motivation. You know, what you get from this channel, that, you know, it's time, okay, go back to the 100 videos, over 100 videos. So now it's up to you, you know, motivate the people that's around you. That's where, you know, where I would feel success from, you know, doing stuff for others. But when you get questions that have to do with life, come into the playlist, you know. So morning motivation will post at least one video, maybe two. Sometimes it might be four, but it will not stop. Well, at least once a week you're going to get something. And you know, that's not going to stop. And it's basically to point back to earlier videos, because like you said, Miss Ann, the period over a year, you know, I had posted videos, but a lot of things I said in those videos back then hadn't happened, but they happen now. So that's the thing that's what the information that you get from those past and prior videos that's in the playlist, because you can go back and look at the date and you're sitting back saying, man, he's saying this, and you know, this happened. And a perfect example of that is the fires. And when I had you know, said about the, you know, floods and you know, the global warming, it's not to say that someone is a swami and that they can read the future. What it is to say is that I've been following the science. You know, I've been following all the reports of, you know, the ice sheets breaking, the Earth's temperature dropping, or the Earth's temperature rising, and you know, those points are here, and we're seeing the full effects of them. So it doesn't take, you know, it doesn't take someone who can see the future, you know, to determine what's going to happen in the future, because what's in the future is already written from the past. It's written in your religious text. So morning motivation isn't going anywhere. Morning motivation will, you know, these videos will always continue to come, because I want to keep those videos there, not only for the viewers, but for my family, for my children, you know, coming up, and their children coming up. So, you know, it's to leave information to let people know how to traverse through life, and the stumbling blocks and the walls that we run into, and how to deal with those walls that we run into. Because if we know why these things are there, then nobody can hurt us, nobody can deceive us, nobody can mislead us, because we already know where you're coming from and where your thoughts are coming from. So that's where the direction of morning motivation is going. So we're not going anywhere. And when I mean we, I mean us. And also, lastly, on that point, there's other people now who have more. For a short period of time, I was ghostwriting for a person with another channel who had close to 1 million followers. I think it was over. I think it was like 1.3 million followers at one time. But like it says, you know, people want to hear people all day, and they want to stay glued, almost like that fear, like that adrenaline. But when you're doing positive things, it only lasts for so long, because everybody will move on to the next thing. And this, like I say, for my viewers, I don't want to be there. I don't want to have to come up with drama or things to keep your attention, because it's not about your attention. It's about your life, and it's about the life of your children. It's about the life of the people that's around you. And these things are being destroyed while people are profiting by coming up with these dramatic videos, and news is coming out with so much fear, and politicians coming up with so much fear, hospitals coming up with so much fear, and they're trillions of dollars they're making from this. They're just literally ripping us off because we're staying blind. So morning motivation is not going to go nowhere. There's always going to be a video, so every so often come back and check. If you don't hear anything from a while, you'll be like, man, I wonder if this guy's still posting. Yeah, I'm still posting, because I'm not going to forget about you. So lastly, number 4, the message. For the message and my hopes and my hopes and my wishes for the world. All right. So morning motivation. What my hope and my wishes are is to say that we have to say to ourselves that the world is imperfect, right? But the world is imperfect because man made it imperfect. If we look at the cycles and the things that we have upon this earth, there's enough here for everybody. But it's man turning man against one another. It's the color of a skin, but yet and still, when you need a heart or you need a lung, how many people are saying, hey, did that come out of a green person? Hey, did that come out of a blue person? Oh, I need a kidney. Hey, did that come out of a pink person? No one does that. But yet and still, we'll still sit in front and we'll close doors on people and we'll shut people down, and we want people to look up to us, and instead of just being us. And what this channel says is that we're all equal. No one is better than the next person. But we have to believe that. So this is what my channel does. My channel gives you the strength to say, hey, wait a minute, I can tell you about your history. Not only can I tell you about your history, what you're just saying is you took from a civilization which belonged to us. You're actually taking credit for something that you didn't even do. But that's where this channel comes in key, because what it does is it gives you facts so that you can stand in the face of adversity, because fear is only based on your lack of knowledge. Now, a perfect example of this, if there's a bear in the back of that door, and I know that there's back of that curtain, and there's a bear back there, but at the same time, I know that there's a bear back there, so instead of having a curtain, what do? I put up a cage. Whether I've seen that bear or not, all I have to do is hear it or smell it, and say, say that's it. That example is good enough. I don't want to get too deep, because, like I said, this is just like a short video, but that's the update for what it is. So now I'm going to take a little bit of time to say thank you, because I had an awesome week, and I hope that everyone out there in the world had an awesome week as well. A lot of positive came out of, this week, and like I said, for the past 2 weeks, I've been kind of busy and preoccupied with some different projects, and also I do a lot of research. So, I can do 100 videos, but then, you have to research what's happening now too. So it's always staying in the present. So that's where those at least one video per week will come from. But to go back to the, the week, I had a chance to talk to some really, really good people. And the thing about, going and greeting people and speaking to people is because you learn all different views. And for someone like myself, I really care about what the next person thinks, even if it's a negative thing. Because sometimes you can point something out and, a person will turn around and be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Or, okay, this person knows what he's talking about. And that's how change comes to be. So this is, these things make me feel good. But it's also going to take all of us to get out there and to, speak to people. I know that people do it on social media, but social media is a bubble. But there's also other bubbles, and then within those bubbles, there's the cell phone itself, which keeps each person divided and each person separated. So for me to speak to someone one-on-one and to listen to someone one-on-one, it gives more of an impact. So that's the type of person that I really am. To be on a screen, you can reach more people. But how many people know your authenticity? You could be lying. I could be lying about everything that I'm saying. But for me to be out there and to meet people and to greet people and to listen to people, and then years go by and they say, wow, this guy really is exactly what he said he is. And that's how change comes in. When someone sits back, now that doesn't work all the time. It works in reverse, because sometimes people don't want to believe that you can be a good person, that you can be the person that you say. And that's what we find on social media. And that's to go back to the ghostwriting for the person with all the viewers. The attacks that came upon this person, it was crazy. Not the good that the person was doing, but just attacking everything about the person's life and everything else. And that's the world that we live in, which is bad. So, I'd rather be out there and do the one-on-one and, greet people one-on-one. And right now I'm going to take a little bit of time after I get off of here and get on social media just to greet people good morning, and then, get up, do my exercise, and, get my day on the road. I'm thankful for the people that I had the opportunity to greet, and the people that I greet, they're not subscribers. So these aren't people who even watch my channel. So again, that's like, it makes me happy that these people look forward to seeing me, and when they don't get to see me, they sit back and they're like, wow, where you been? So, and I had breakfast, but don't get ready, I got breakfast again. So that's telling me I need to eat something. But thank you all so much, and for all of you, and especially for the ladies that watch this. Thank you, for coming back to check to see what's new. So with that, everyone, have the most beautiful day. Be the best person that you can be, and motivate others. Personally motivate others. Because that means more when we motivate people that we don't know in a physical sense, more so than in a texting behind the screen type way. So have the most beautiful day once more, people all over the world, men, women, children, all languages, all races, all colors, and may you all walk. And last, thank you so much, Juliet. Didn't forget about you. And the kisses are there. So thank you so much as well. And Nadia. So with that, everyone, peace.